Hey TV fans, I am delving back into the X-Files, so this one is episode 15 of season 2, Fresh Bones, and it aired December 4th, 1995. It's directed by Rob Bowman with a script by Chris Carter and Howard Gordon. And in this one, Scully and Mulder investigate the death of a Marine working at a Haiti refugee camp. He drove his car into a tree. His death is ruled a suicide, but the man's wife is unconvinced. He later shows up back alive, and there's an investigation which unearths rumours of the camp commander, Colonel Wharton, who may be involved in systematically abusing some of the detainees. There are also rumours about voodoo magic and curses in a plot which is a bit similar to the Wes Craven movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow, pinned on a prisoner, one of the detainees, Bove, but it turns out there's more to it than that in this uninspired, dull and pretty cliched X-Files episode. One of the highlights of the episode is the brilliant Daniel Bilzerian of Murder One. But even Bedanzo struggles to breathe life into this episode as he is given a half-cooked role. He is a very one-note bad guy, and the problem is it's so obvious from the first scene that you see him in when he's being questioned by Mulder and Scully that he is behind this somehow. There is no suspense or mystery to his character at all. Then later on, when it reveals that he's actually engaging in like voodoo practices itself, it's a wild swing which just doesn't feel that credible. And that's the ultimate problem, is they don't really spend that much time with him, and they never really make him one thing or the other. He just comes off as a very one-note villain. Bedanzio is a charismatic actor, but even he looks bored in this episode. And ultimately, it's a very forgettable, underwhelming episode with a bit of a lame plot that just runs through the cliches. And really, he's it empowering guest stars goes, because there's a bunch of other really random and forgettable characters, including this Marine who just goes through the motions with this plot exposition that just goes nowhere.
When they did an autopsy to try and figure it out, all they could find was a bunch of snakes squirming around inside her belly.
Sounds like an old wives' tale.
No, ma'am, it's not. You see, I'm the one who was supposed to marry her.
The episode is like a grab bag of things, very few of which actually hit home. Mulder and Scully also briefly get help from a little whippersnapper orphan kid named Chester Bonaparte. Hey, cute kid. And Mulder pursuing this young lad so aggressively hasn't aged well. He's sort of like an extra from the Goonies.
Chester! Chester! Stop! It's not gonna hurt you!
Wait, what? Guess if things don't work out with Scully, Mulder's got a new pet anyway. We get to learn a bit more about Chester, and Scully steals the best line of the episode. Small mercies.
Hey!
Let me be! I didn't do nothing!
Hey,
What did I do? Maybe you can tell us.
Let's go.
Maybe I should kiss a few and find out if one is good as yours.
But I go there for the frogs. You find the best frogs at the cemetery. Chester Bonaparte.
What do you do with the frogs, Chester?
For which one I catch, I get 50 cents.
From who? Who pays you for them?
Beauvais. His magic is the most strong. And he even made my fries disappear.
You know, Chester, I got magic too. And I bet I can make your fries reappear.
It's revealed that by the end of the episode, the spooky little kid who's giving Marines the willies already died a few weeks back, so has just been appearing to Mulder and Scully. Oh, in season 1 there were episodes where Deep Throat was forced into a needless cameo in a pointless episode and didn't really need to be there. Well, this is one of those episodes for X, who just appears in a small role at one point just to warn Mulder this is a battle and an investigation he can't win. So that's not the best use of X's time. It really does nothing with the idea of exploring refugees being abused. G's camps, like, potentially that could have been a big theme of the episode, but it never digs further enough into that, and it's just a little bit of a messy episode, which is very uneven. As things ramp up towards the end, you do get a couple of decently creepy moments, but the episode also gets very silly and ends up being very anticlimactic and kind of cheesy.
C'est pour mourir. Quand on peut ça faire, battre avec tout ça qui passe là. Pas quitter monde here.
On its own, that scene seems like a cool bit of horror, even if it is a bit over the top. But it's just another part of the episode where it resolves itself in a very clean-cut, easy and unsatisfying way. But you know what, the episode does redeem itself a little bit at the end, because I do have a soft spot for the ending and a good old-fashioned buried alive.
Dirt to the eyes! The shovel to the skin will somehow pull off a miraculous victory. That explosion! Kane is helping Mr. down the mound! What is the Undertaker's own brother, Florida? And that thing's going up. That I could see the camera get there. It is. Undertaker has been McMahon. The Undertaker's thanks to his little brother.
So no complaints about the end of the episode, at least. Warden's ultimate fate is fitting.
Move it, Mom.
That might be one of my favourite endings to one of the most forgettable episodes of the whole show. Overall, I've seen worse than Fresh Bone. Very forgettable and mediocre and kind of silly. I'm going to go straight down the middle on this one. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. But coming up next time on The X-Files, a much more promising episode 16 of Season 2, and it's one of the big mythology episodes of the season and of the show so far. It's the episode Colony, first part of a two-parter, and the setup for the episode is when someone sends Mulder and Scully obituaries showing 3 separate but identical men apparently having died. Agents investigate, but things take an unexpected turn when Mulder receives a call from his father. So some pretty meaty stuff happening in the first of that two-parter, and I will be reviewing that hopefully next week on the channel. Here's a preview.
Friday,
We're talking state-sanctioned murder.
Scully and Mulder uncover a conspiracy to create a master race.
An FBI agent died because of this case.
Those are the risks we take.
Now, who can they trust
We're gonna lose them.
when anyone can be cloned? A brand new X-Files, Friday at 9, 8 Central.
Let me know your thoughts on Fresh Bones in the comments below. Like and subscribe as always. You can share me out on social media if you want to help the channel out monetarily. There's a couple of different ways. You can either support me for as little as $1 a month on patreon.com/borednow for some extra perks. Early access to things, commentaries, unpopular opinion videos, various things, or you can sign up for channel memberships if you want to do it that way. I will link it in the description to this video, but 3 different tiers with a variety of perks across the tiers if you want to help out the channel financially. And I'll see you again soon. Keep watching TV. And see you later, guys.
For some people, black magic is a way of life.
You're putting yourselves into something you don't understand.
For Agent Scully, it could be a terrifying way to die.
They warn you once. After that, no magic can save you.
Don't miss a brand new episode of The X-Files, Friday at 9, 8 Central.